Hi there, my name is Graham. In Second Life, I'm known as Hrdtop75 Deluxe. I volunteer at the Virtual Railway Consortium. The Virtual Railway Consortium consists of members and groups that enjoy the railways around Second Life. They provide free open source scripts and builds for the residents to enjoy. In this series, I'm going to make a mesh locomotive from scratch using free software found on the net and open source scripts from the Virtual Railway Consortium. The reason why I'm making this series is to show you how it can be easy to make something from scratch and prevent DMCA takedowns. DMCA being Digital Millennium Copyright. But most importantly, help out newcomers to the railroads in Second Life. Join me live once a week, Mondays 5 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time, or Sunday 2400 SLT. The video will also be available for viewing later as well. But for now, let's get on with the build. Ladies and gentlemen, how we going? It's Monday. We are back. And we are. I'm on the SLR at the moment. And I don't know if you probably can't hear my in-world game at the moment, but yeah. There's been new changes to YouTube currently, which I think are fantastic. I'm absolutely loving it now. They've given us a lot more options now for streaming live wherever we want, which is great. I'm super happy that how do you say? There's been so many options. I always used to have to come in and edit things later and change things up. Now I don't have to. It is great. Absolutely fantastic. Best thing YouTube's ever done. However, they have been playing with the algorithm. So that also messes it up a little bit. One thing I'm going to show you now, which I didn't even know until now existed. Now, this is only new to me. I don't know if it's since the last episode that we've done or maybe over previous episodes, but you can actually live stream now into Second Life via YouTube, obviously. And it is actually in the back of your screen. So let's go over to Second Life. I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is just batshit crazy. I only noticed it a couple of minutes ago. All right. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Do we have 1, 2? Blue Yeti's working over here. Blue Yeti always seems to work really nicely when I'm live streaming, but never any other time. Why? I don't know. Okay. How crazy, alright, is this? This is my avatar in the game. There's my mouse. There I am right there. But yet if I walk over here, you'll see me move on the screen over there very soon. Watch this. This is... I don't know what the time delay is. By the looks of that, it's probably about 45 seconds or something like that. But man, this is new to me and I think it's super cool. I like this. I really do. I think the fact that you can now have an event and live stream it to other parcels or something like that, that's just, oh, that's amazing. There used to be a limit on how many people you could have on a parcel or a sim. Endless possibilities now, I reckon. That's pretty cool. But let's go upstairs because I don't really want to bore you guys with a lot of Gimp today. I don't want to bore you with it. I wanted to do a lot of extra stuff to the texturing. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance, and I'm a little bit behind. So, what I thought today, just to break things up, just to make things a little bit more exciting, I thought, why not actually get there and start modelling? We've already done the UV layout. Excuse me. So we've made the model of the top half. We've done the UV layout, so we've made it flat so that we can draw on it and do whatever we want. I didn't get a chance to do any more texturing during the week. Things have been a little bit crazy in life at the moment. The thing I want to do is start dragging things into world. Because we've made the model, because we've UV mapped it, it is now a finished product. We can now bring that into Second Life. Do I have my drawing camera and everything? Yes, I do. Hey, Deborah Silver, how you going? Thanks for watching. Today, I'm going to bring in the top half of this model. We're going to bring that into world. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Sorry if I didn't. I'm going to bring this model into world. I'm going to do a proper layout and explain the size that I actually do in world. The reason why I do things the way I do in world as well. You might have your way of doing things, which is totally fine. There's no problems with that whatsoever. So what we're going to do today is we're going to bring that model in. I hope when I drag this model in well, we don't see anything random on my computer. And anyways, let's get in world. So we don't technically need that there, but what we're going to do is, I've got my face cam there, you guys can see me, yeah, make it a little bit bigger. We'll resize that a little bit. I don't think the face cam's really needed, but you guys will be happy to see that or something like that. What I want to do is start to actually scale in world. We've done all the scaling outside in different programs. In Blender, we've scaled it, and it looks pretty decent, as in a front shot to a side shot, and the heights and everything looks pretty good. Fingers crossed. Our pictures that we actually selected were scalable. Hopefully. So, what we're going to do is go and find an image. Now, I'm pretty sure I've already got an image in here. God, it's been a long time since I've done this. Textures. By the way, I've got to go back and do all my boards now. 2300, it's no longer 2300 anymore. I reckon Patch did that just to get me. This will get you, buddy, this will get you. Patch is alright, he's pretty cool. Okay, we are gonna have to import something. So, images, the biggest size image, 2048, I think it is. I think we figured that out last time, but anyway, we're going to go up the top, world. We're going to go to, not do that world thing at all. We're going to go to build. Please excuse me as well. I've had a couple of beverages, celebrating something that could be the rest of my future. Fingers crossed it's the rest of my future, and a little bit on the side or whatever. But it's been a good day. So we're going to go to build, upload. There's no shortcut apart from Control U, and I don't think that's going to work for us. Control U. It doesn't look as... Whoa, Scheisenhausen. It does work, it's just super delayed. Okay, so build, upload, image. Because I want to scale this at the moment. 48. Where's my image? Here we go. Let's pick an image. I hope it's here. There it is. Open that one. Can't upload it. What? Because it's probably the wrong frickin' size. Okay, so it's too big. Let's quickly go into Gimp and we'll fix that. Keep in mind that file, new, 2048, okay. You can open multiple tabs on this as well. File, open as a layer. Come on. If my screen lags out, make sure you tell me. I can see your chat on the left hand side. Make sure you tell me, because I have been having issues with the NDI player, the NDI scanner at the moment. I don't know if that's because of updates at the moment. I've got no idea. I don't think I've got low memory on the PC. Everything should be running fine. So anyway, if it does lag out or it stops or freezes, make sure you tell me. My camera will always work, but you'll probably notice that the mouse and everything won't work, or screens won't move or something like that. So make sure you harass me. Let's go to, what drive are we in? Yeah, that's my drive. I honestly can't remember where I put I'm hearing a weird hum too. There we go. Okay, we've got a bit of a preview up the top right hand corner. You can probably see that there. I want to pick this one here because, oh my god, convert it. Okay, there you go. And we'll scale that down. I'm going to lock the width and height together and pray to God that these boys and girls have a nice scaled image. We're going to bring that down again. Now keep in mind that I'm not actually going to use this image in world. There you go, everything's good there. Yep. Actually, I should have picked a better one than that. Anyway. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And while we're here, last episode. Where is my... Okay. Last episode, we had a problem with... Oops. Control Z. Grab that and move that. Okay, so you'll see over here. This is weird for me because my PC's over there and I'm pointing over here. Right there, tool options. You would have noticed last episode that it actually undocked itself. And I didn't say anything because at that present time I was like, how do I get that back there? I couldn't remember off the top of my head, so I didn't say anything. But to actually get that back, bring it out. This is what I usually do, and I do it frequently too, and a lot of people do it. Okay, so now that's undocked. And that's what you would have seen on the left-hand side there. I'll just move this up to a point where you can see it. There you go. That's now undocked. And it's annoying. It's really annoying. You're going to end up doing this a few times. It'll happen to you. Click the toolbar. See the tool options? I've highlighted this part here. Grab it. And you're going to see that little corner. The corner thing there. Yeah. Hope I'm doing that the right way. We're going to drag that into there. And it didn't work. It didn't work for me. That didn't work at all. Come on. Tool options. I'm actually lagging out a little bit, to tell you the truth. Tool options, come on. Usually the whole screen goes blue. Maybe it's just something that's lagging out on me at the moment. The PC is actually struggling. For some reason it's struggling right now, but anyway, stick that there. Usually if you grab your tool options, which is right up the very top there, right there with the arrow, drag that in. Usually just goes straight in, so I'm obviously having big problems. Oh. Okay, something's going on there. Tool options. Wow, okay, I must have broken it. Anyways, we've got that image there. We're going to go File. Wrong image, mate. File. export as, and I'm going to call this maybe get a second life 48. This is where I put all most of my images. I'm going to call this the, you can call it whatever you want. I'm going to call it the in-world scale. There you go. Export. Now we can probably get rid of that if it lets me. It's actually not letting me, to tell you the truth. We are actually lagging out, so make sure you tell me if everything slows down. At the moment as well, next door neighbour's been a little bit painful. He's a little bit upset. I don't know if he's lost his job or I don't know what I don't know. But he's punishing everyone in the neighbourhood at the moment, so you're going to hear cars go up and down. So let's go back into world. We're going to go to build, upload an image. And we're going to go to in-world scale is what I called it. There you go. There's our image. Now keep in mind that I'm not selling this image. It's not what I'm going to do. I have no need to do that. I have no plans on doing that. What I'm going to do now is build a quick cube. Right, I'm going to stick that somewhere. Where? I don't know. Let's line it up with this old girl. Let's go. For starters, I guess Z-axis will do the job. Let's go position in world. So you can see here where I'm highlighting right now, that is position in world. So as you can see, I'm really high up in the sky. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go to the brand new cube that I've just placed. I'm going to paste that down. Now it's the same height, and this SLR track is actually the same height for the, what do they call it, the guide, which is that semi-transparent cube I've got down there, to the actual top of the rail, which should be 100% correct. So what I'm going to do now is go on the Z axis. I'm going to increase it. I'm also going to go picked up that old guide as well. I hope yeah, I'll move this camera. Yep, everything's good. I'm going to pick up the guide, as I was just saying. It's there. The position of the guide is right there. You can see that on the left hand side, hopefully, fingers crossed, with my mouse. If you can't see it, tell me, and maybe I can make things larger. I'm not 100% sure how to do it, but if you're watching, you're more than welcome to tell me. I'm going to paste that there. Oops, you idiot. I'm going to copy it from the guide. I'm going to take it to the new cube, and I'm going to paste it. There we go. So you see now we're exactly center. We're exactly the same height as well as the guide. I now need to go and figure out how we're going to measure this thing. So let's go to Wiki. Wiki's always a good thing. How true is it? I don't know. Got no idea. But it gives us a really good reference. So let's go here. We're into specifications on the right hand side. CO means 6.6. That's all it is. Doesn't mean anything special. Which is 3 axles front and 3 axles rear. Or 6 wheels front, 6 wheels rear. Same. Gauge is 4'8.5". That's a standard gauge all the way around. And a lot of my trains that I build here, actually all of them, except for one, they've all been standard gauge. And that's common right across the world. A lot of America is standard gauge. I think Africa, Russia, actually you probably see it in a map there. There you go. Everything's changed a little bit there. You got your narrows, your standards, your broads, but standard is the common gauge, which is 1435 millimeters, or 4'8.5". Okay, so that's our gauge for width. Now I don't actually have a gauge for width on this build, so I'm not going to run off that. We're going to run off wheel diameter. You might be thinking, what the hell's he doing? We're going to run off wheel diameter, length, headstock. Okay, so that's headstock is buffer to buffer. Oh, wait up, what did I say here? Just make sure it is. No, sorry, it's not. Buffer to buffer is coupler pull faces. No, shut up, mate. Okay, headstock is the flat face after, if you're looking at it front on like you are here in the picture. It's that red section, which is the flat part. I haven't even made that part yet, but at least we've got a measurement. So overhead stock is 44 foot 3 inches. So that starts to give us an idea of what's going on. We've also got the height. The height's going to be a big thing for us. That's what we're going to be using. And I've also got a 42 class in world right there, as you can see on the right hand side. That is going to also give me a visual reference, because I know that the 48 is actually lower in height. I know that for a fact. Now, how else can we make this cube? We can also stretch it on the X, do whatever. But I want to go back to widths. I want to go to here. No, height. Here we go. 14.76 meters is the coupler pull face to the coupler pull face. Now I'm pretty sure I've got that. So we can go to there. I can go, let's say 15 on the x-axis. Now, keep in mind, when I start saying x-axis in Second Life, it's not the same as x-axis in Blender. It is not the same. X-axis in Blender is this way, and in Second Life it's this way. So a little bit of a head thing there you got to keep in mind. Okay, I know that the x-axis is going to be 14.750 millimeters. Now she's a big unit. And we're going to move it. Actually, we might grab this and just quickly move it backwards so we've got more space. Yeah, it's hanging halfway through the wall. Who cares? I only want it for height anyway. Now, I know I've pretty much centered that image. So I want to go and find out what the height is. Just roughly 14 foot is 4, 10, let's do 10 meters. Just double it up. Size, Z, 10 meters. Okay. Now I'm pretty sure I did upload that image, didn't I? Yeah, in world scale. Okay. Edit, select the face. Texture. Textures in world scale. Here we go. Now, why did I pick that model? The reason why I picked that model is because it is actually, not technically. No, technically it is. It's actually down the road from me right now and I can actually go and visit it. I don't think I'll be allowed onto the rails because I'm not a railway worker. But we will be able to look through the fence and actually be able to see one. Which would be pretty cool, I reckon. Height-wise, let's have a look at the height. We know in 14 foot and 0 inches, which equals out to be 4 meters 27. Now, we've done the measurement. We've done the excuse me. Okay. So we've done the measurement in world and we're actually going to compensate. When I say compensate, we're going to compensate for the Second Life avatar, which the railway's already being compensated for. So, probably have to pull out a calculator on it, but anyway. Phone over here. Okay. This is how I do it. If you do it some other way, I'm very interested in finding out how you do it. I tend to run on 3 axes. So let's get rid of that there so we can see more stuff. Okay, there's your rail. And the rail is actually, it is technically 5 meters long. So it is 5 meters long, which is pretty much 100%. The human avatar in Second Life, the standard avatar, is 120%. So, when the Linden Department of Public Works actually went through and made these rails, they scaled the rails to suit the avatar. So, our y-axis, our green axis, which I'm hoping that green arrow was highlighted. Just like the face. We'll go transparency. There we go. Select that one, transparency. Okay. So our rails on the green axis, which is, or the y-axis, sorry, which is this way, is scaled to 120% this way. So therefore, when the resident builders come through, they actually scale their whole train out to 120%. I personally don't do that. What I do is 100% on the x-axis, which is left to right on this locomotive, which is half hanging out through the wall. So I go 100% this way. I go 120% on z-axis. That gives height and room for the avatar to sit on a chair, to look out the window properly, to look out the front windows properly, and not have the skull come through the top of the cab. It sounds odd, but that's what it is. It is what it is. So I do 120% up and down on the Z. I do 120% on the Y, left to right. And then I do 100% on the length. I do this, it makes it look a little bit more cartoony, but I do this because of a channel chat that I make. The carriages go one after another and they chat on a certain distance. And when you scream chat in a script, it only goes 100 meters. That being from the point of the person or the engineer to the route prima of the last carriage. And that's the reason why I do that. So let's move this back out. We know that this locomotive, I might be able to do it actually, from, I think that's probably a good idea, that we go from length, couple of pulling faces. So that's the inside face, that's here. That's this face here, which actually should be within that image. We should be able to see that. 14.76. Okay, so I'm going to scale this image. So much scaling. What are you doing all this scaling for? It's just me, I'm fussy. I like my stuff to be reasonably realistic, you know. Okay. So the best way to measure in world is with a cube. It's pretty easy. And I enjoy doing it this way as well. So go into our object mode. We're going to go into sizes. On the x-axis, I'm going to go to coupler over inside coupler length was 14.760, I think it was, from memory. 14.76. Yep. Overall, yeah, pulling faces are 14 meters, 0.760. Back to Second Life. 14,760. Okay. Geez, I'll tell you what, that's not bad. That's not bad. Well, We might be a little bit out. Inside coupler. And we're a long way out with this one. We're a long way out. Let's go make this one semi-transparent. Just for a laugh, just so we can see things a bit clearer. It all starts with a prim. We're going to make this a bit larger as well. I don't even know what size it is. 14,750. Let's make it 15. That might get it reasonably close. Negative. 16. Oh, crikey. No way. A lot of guesswork in this too. $15,250. We're getting there. We're getting there. I might actually reduce it just by 50 and I think we're done. Oh, sorry, reduce it. Turkey. Add it. Okay, that looks pretty good. Pretty happy with that. We need to make them the actual thing larger. We are going to look into... What did I do that for? Here we go. The actual height of the locomotive. Now we're talking top of... Geez, what was it again? It was... I think it was rail face to the top. Pretty sure it was rail face. Height 4 meters 0.270 mil. 4,270 mil. Jeez, I'll tell you what. Calculator. There we go. Come on, calculator. Here we go. Height. 4,270. That's overall height. Rail face to top. And I don't think that includes fixtures or anything like that because everything's a lot different. Then we go plus 20%. Equals 5 meters. Ooh, that might be a little bit further than I want. Okay, grab this cube here. On the z-axis is calculator. Where are you? 5,120. Let's call it 125. 5,125. Okay. Let's make sure this cube... No, we've got problems there. That something's wrong. What are you doing, mate? Come on, get out of it. Yeah, that's bigger than that. That's... Oh, then again, I haven't actually made the cube fit to the rail yet either, so... Let's get our rail face going. Width. Let's do 5.5. Should be 5 meters. Yeah, there we go. Let's drag that down. I had a funny feeling that that is actually larger than that, which it shouldn't be. That's something is definitely wrong there. That might be overall height, including... No, it wouldn't be. Wow. I know that the 48 is a lot shorter. Oh, sorry, a lot smaller than the 42s. This is going to be one of them things where I see these pictures all the time and I won't be able to find one today. Just be one of them common things. That's pretty close. Is that 48? That's 45. 45. Okay, where am I gonna, how am I gonna line her up? NSWGR is New South Wales Government Railways. Railway tours. I know that the oh come on, man, guy's taking the piss, I tell you. I'm sure they'll have a 42 and a 48 together here somewhere. If not, I'll give it a couple of seconds and I'll just guess it. We can always change it later on anyway, when I get a bit of time. Which I think is what we're going to be doing. Okay. So it says height. They haven't specified the actual height properly as to where we're measuring from. 4 meters 27. Which was plus 20%. Let's just for a laugh, 125. Yeah. Okay, let's go 270 plus 10%. 4697. Let's make it 47. There we go. That looks a little bit more usable. I've obviously done something with previous models and stuffed it. But that's, yeah, that's it. That's the proper size. That's how it should be. You see a lot of these models that's right, 110, not 120. Sorry, I've completely cocked up, completely. And that's overall height as well. That would be top of the exhaust outlet as well. That'd be the whole thing overall. So what we're going to do is quickly move that out of the way. We know what our scale is now. Thank God for that. Okay, let's grab our image here, and we need to select the face, go there, go to images, and we're going to start vertically expanding. Wrong way. Wrong way, you clown. Let's go to... yeah. Give that a crack. We'll move it vertically. We know the overall length. So let's try moving that down, a vertical offset at 50, minus 50, I don't know, come on guys, here we go. Does not look right. Let's grab this whole object. And we'll go to object mode, we'll go to size on the y-axis, bring it out to the rails. You can see now that I've got the rail face on. And I think that needs to be scaled. Select face. Bring that down to gee, that's a bit of a tough one. Vertical scale 5. Let's try 450. Oops, I increased it. Let's go 650, maybe? That's gone the wrong way, isn't it? Yeah, it is. 550. Go down 75. Oops, wrong way. 25. Wrong way again. 30. 5. Oh, we're pretty close to rail height. 7, maybe. There we go. What's wrong with that? And that actually does look like the proper height, which is good. I'm loving that height. Oh, if anything, it could actually go a bit lower. Yeah, the image could definitely go a bit lower. So we'll scale this image down. Just a smidgen, just a little bit. Let's go 5, that should... nope. 560. Okay. Then we can go back down to our model, move the image down, vertical offset. I can't remember which way down was now. Yeah, that's what I thought. 35. There we go. Pretty good. I reckon I'm going to run with that. That's what I'm going to run with. Everything's looking pretty good. Overall length looks good. The height actually looks correct. Everything's looking pretty good. Okay. So we've obviously got the wheel height now that we can go off. And I'm going to... I reckon we just start building it. What do you reckon? We can actually start uploading things. I've already got couplers in place. I can put some couplers on. Actually, we could just probably steal it off this locomotive here, couldn't we? Sounds like a deal to me, I reckon. Alright. Now, there is one thing that I've got, and I don't think... Well, we're going to use the script anyway, but I'll show it to you later on. This coupler, if I'm sitting in the locomotive, which I am now, you obviously can't see that, this coupler actually works. And I've got a door sound on there at the moment, just for the shits and giggles. This is probably one of the first generation ones that I've got. So if you're sitting in the locomotive, you can actually work the coupler. Or if anyone's in the, how do you say, if anyone's actually sitting inside the locomotive, you should be able to touch that. And it should automatically close. So we're going to use that exact same script on the cab doors. Now, if I open that coupler and flip the locomotive, it should know where to go back to because it looks for the route prim. My position is blah blah blah. Where is the route prim position? Move to position. That's basically what it is. So we're going to destroy this locomotive, but that coupler is actually two pieces. It is two pieces. So we're going to go to edit, edit linked. I'm going to go to that one and that one. I'm going to go to unlink. I do actually have these already set up out of world. Oh, not out of world, sorry. I already have them in my inventory, but these are already the correct height, and we're going to move them across. It's just going to be easy. So we've grabbed that. Oh, shizer. Don't do that. Alt, use Alt to view in. Sometimes I keep forgetting that. And Shift to highlight two objects. Control Z works in world as well. Why didn't it pick up multiples? Why didn't it do that? Oh, I copied them. Oh, wherever's going. Ordevs, Trev. Now, we know that the image of the locomotive is correct to rail face to height. I'm going to now bring the object back to being 500 mil. 500 mil? Yeah, 500 mil. Control Z? Yes, no? No? 0.5, half a metre, not 500 metres. Thank you very much. I'm also going to reduce that now because it's too wide. 250 mils. Okay. My couple is still pretty wide. Let's just turn this image into a 100. Oh, come on, mate. 0.5, maybe? Oh my god. And shift to grab your other image. Sorry, object. You can see how it's kind of in alignment. I'm not too far off. If I wanted to get super fussy, I could move that couple, like, you know, make it taller, shift it up and down. However, it's already lined up to the other locomotive, and I always run these couples at this height. So every single thing will match up now between all of my locomotives, all of my rolling stock, the whole lot. It's going to be the same height. So one is down. Let's go and check out this coupler back here. That is, we're going to go to edit link and grab another one, and we'll go unlink. Okay. That one and that one. And now we should just be able to shift it. Fingers crossed. Yep, we're good to go. Alright. Oh, trying to go too far off screen as well. Okay. We've got our outer couple of faces all done. It's all lined up. Everything's going to be sweet as beef. Let's have a look at wheels. Let's have a look at the wheels. Now, I've already got the correct size on the other locomotive. I'm thinking about just copy paste and bring her across. It's got to be the easiest way at the moment. You can make your own wheels. I've already done it. I don't feel the need to make the wheels again. You know what I mean. I think it's just my signature kind of thing. Everyone's got their own little things. Like I go around and there was a lady that used to build trains. She was building them from scratch too, and they looked amazing. They were really nice. I did see her in another world. She actually moved over into a different place, and I believe that's closed down now. But you could always tell her work. If somebody, you know, if you right-clicked on something and seen who owned it, when you go into general, like, let's go and have a look at this locomotive here. General. It's got my name on it as the creator. If someone actually copied her vehicle, you'd know straight away, because there was just these little things that you could tell it was hers. It was like a little signature thing. And I run these couplers, I run these wheels. All my builds look pretty similar or uniform. So everything looks the same, you know. So we're going to get these wheels. Let's get these wheels out. I need to actually make this other object because we've lined up our couplers. Y-axis. I want to line it up to the rail. Everything's looking pretty good there. Super happy that that coupler is semi-lined up. I'm like, it's that far out. So I'm pretty happy. Get it linked. And I'm going to go unlink. And we're just going to shift it forward. Looks pretty odd, eh? Right. There's no wheel under there. What's going on? Now, obviously the wheel size is completely different. Let's go back to Wiki. And it's going to tell us our wheel diameter, 40 inches. So, 1 meter and 16 centimeters. 1 and 16. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Yep. Plus 10%. 101 point. What? That. Okay, sorry. Me. My bad. My bad. My bad. Okay. We're going to make the wheel size 1 meter, 0.117. 1 meter, 117 millimeters. How's the audio? Audio's alright. It's telling me that the NDI source isn't picking anything up. That's because we're not in the game. So, you can see here, oh wow, one of the sizes is not right. 117, I think it was. 117 and 117. We should have a good size wheel. No, we don't. That's not right. The image is not right. Or the in-world scale is not right. Ooh, okay. Oh, it's because of our 110% and 100%. Might just 250. Sometimes you just gotta clown around till you kind of got something somewhere about right. Yeah, not bad, not bad, not bad. Let's make it. Actually, has to be a bit larger, doesn't it? Let's make it 60. It's not that much of a difference, but when you're talking little measurements, there we go. I reckon that'll do the job. That's pretty cool. That'll do the job. Now, we've got our size done. Everything looks pretty cool. We're pretty happy with our size. To the image. What we can do now, I don't like the width of it, but anyway. What we can do now is go shift and rip it across. Shift, rip it across. Basically what I'm doing is just copying, whoops, stuffed up. Went gone goofed. Select. I'm just trying to line it up a little bit with the, yeah, that'll do the job. Okay. I'm going to grab it, move it. Here we go, looks pretty good. Gonna go shift, drag it across. Shift, drag it across. Don't shift it because we've already got enough wheels out. There we go. Couplers and wheels are out. They're done. Grab my image and we'll bring this back down to the size of 0.05. There we go. And our couplers are back as well. Okay. So that's basically, we can get rid of this cube now too. That's it's going to annoy the piss out of me if it stays there. We've scaled it all out. It looks really good. Now the exciting part comes. I can actually start to bring in the model. As I said in the beginning of the video, we've already done the UV mapping. So the computer is going to, the model is going to know where the image and everything is going to line up. It's done. We don't have to worry about that. So that we can bring multiple images in and just paste over the top the whole time. Everything's good to go. Might get rid of that. Oh, and that. So keep in mind that these couplers at the present moment are not going to work. And I'm going to make sure of that too. By going to checking that and getting out of there. Because I know if people do end up coming in and giving them a bit of a touch up, they'll not work. Therefore, the coupler will not move sideways and move around the sim. It technically needs a root prim to be able to move around. It needs a locating prim to be able to go. My location is here. I can rotate to here. But because it's an odd shape, it's going to go my location and rotation. And that's how we work it out. Now, where are we up to? We're going to have a quick break, quickly go to the engineer's room, and what we're going to do is upload this, we're going to upload this top half of the model. So, give me 2 or 3 minutes, and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. How are we going? We are currently getting ready now to upload our mesh model. We're getting ready. We're pretty damn close. I haven't actually finished off the texturing yet. And I don't really want to. How do you say? I don't want to bore people with more texturing. Like more over and over and over and over and over kind of stuff. But what we're going to do now is we're going to explain, or I'm going to give my explanation as to how to upload mesh. There's a few people that have tried to explain it, and there is actually a way of doing it. For the railway, it's really tricky. So I'm going to quickly go back into. So you can see we've already started. We've already started making the model. It's up the top there. I've already lined up the wheels. I've already lined up the couplers. Everything's there. We're now into the building phase of this. So I want to bring in the actual model of the upper part. I'm going to bring that in. But first, we need an explanation as to how things work and why things are the way they are. At the moment, you can presently see that the wheels have got this weird looking triangle shape. Pull out my mouse and I'll show you right here. Now I've done that, and there's a reason why I've done that. The majority of the wheels in a locomotive you never see. So I've decided that I don't need the land impact or the level of detail to be as high or as great, because it's not needed unless you're up close. Like, let's grab my avatar here. We're zoomed out pretty far actually. Okay, so that's pretty much where we seen it earlier. However, if I go and move in closer, I've actually labelled them 55. Okay. Now you've seen how that just went and created a more perfect circle, especially on the axle, where my mouse is right now. You can see how that is now a perfect circle. So I'll walk backwards again. And that's what we call the level of display. And when we're uploading, we actually get to choose what other people and how other people see it, which I think is good and bad in a way. I think that there should be in Second Life a way of you newcomers to pick the basic, like a ticker box. I just want a basic upload, or to go into an advanced mode. We're always in like an advanced mode when it comes to uploading mesh into Second Life. Now I haven't uploaded mesh in a while, so it's not that hard. It really isn't that hard. What we haven't done is exported our 3D model yet, so we're going to have to do that. But you've now seen that there. That is level of display. And you can see how my cam's in the way. There you go. You can see how it's still triangular over there with the level of display. That's because our viewer is in a bubble. And I'm going to explain that a little bit later on. Starters, let's go into Blender. I've got two mice next to me and I keep picking the wrong one up. I don't even have Blender open. Come on, Melinda, load up. Come on, mate. Come on. I'm very unprepared today. Very unprepared. Okay, let's go to the body that we're working on. And as you can see, I haven't had the time to actually get in there and do much more work to the body in texturing modes. It's definitely something I'm going to get into this week. It has to be done. So, as I said last episode, I was going to remove. Oh, excuse me. As I said last episode, I was going to remove the handrails and everything like that. I just haven't had a chance. I've been pretty busy trying to figure out what I'm going to do with life at the moment, and it's just where we're at. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are like that in life at the moment, so we're going to upload this. So I need to go File, Export, and we're going to export this model as, I hope everything there is visible. I'm going to export this model as a collider, COLLADA collider, which is default, and that's a .dae file. I'm going to go into there, class body, yeah, that should turn up in there. I'm going to export that. Let's go back into Second Life. Now, we are about ready to upload. However, we need to figure out or have a basic understanding of how that level of detail works. As I kept showing you with, I'm going to go Alt left click. You can see the level of detail change. This was a major problem with tortured prims back in the day, or sculpties. You'd get that little bit of a distance away and it just disappear. If you were a railway fan back in the day, you'd actually watch, back in the earlier days of the Second Life Railway, you'd start watching these trains going down the road and they'd just disappear, and you'd just see somebody floating through the air as they disappeared off into the distance. You're like, what are they doing? So yeah, they actually had no train body, no nothing. It was just the level of display just disappeared, and I don't think they had a level of display back then. But then again, I went from prim to mesh straight away. I didn't like the confusement of sculpties and all that. So, anyways, we're going to upload. Build. No, we're not. We're going to do an explanation first. That's what I was going to do. Let's go over to my drawing cam. Now, I've actually been using my drawing cam for other things, so... Alright. Brilliant, looks good. Now, I need to bring my microphone over with me. And that's my chair, how I'm not farting. Just so you know. Now, level of display. Also known as LOD. You'll often hear people talk about LOD, level of display. Okay. We need to have an understanding of level of display for other people in the world. How far away are they going to see it? How close up do they have to be to see it? Is it something that is going to be seen from 2 sims away? You know, it's I could upload the mesh model right now and not bother with level of display, and it just won't look right. You'll be disappointed with your build, and eventually you're going to be uploading and uploading and uploading, and at the end of the day, you are opening up a Second Life business to actually make money. You don't want to waste money on mistakes. So do it right the first time, and I'm going to show you right now, or give you a drawing as to how level of display works. So that's our avatar. Let's say our train. Don't think we really need to draw a train, do we? What do you reckon? Okay. There's our train. Just as good as my first drawing. Absolute garbage. There you go, there it is there. Okay, so our train needs to be seen from a certain distance. However, we've also got to look at the rate of the land impact. So this is where things get just a little bit tricky. So, 2 things is display at distance and that also affects land impact. 2 things that fight amongst each other continually. 2 major things. I hope we can read what I'm writing. I tend to get a little bit fast with my writing, and only I can read it. So, we've got in our uploads, we've got 3 levels of display. So, as you've seen earlier, there was that bubble where in my area I could see the wheels, but further along the rail you couldn't see the rest of the wheels, and we're talking bubbles. Okay, there's one bubble. There's your second level of display. And then there's your third level of display. So, 1, 2, 3. I really shouldn't have picked that one. Anyway. 3 levels. 1, 2, and 3. Now, the computer in Second Life will automatically run out a quick LOD for you. However, I find on the rails that it is not perfect. I find that a lot of mesh on the Second Life Railway needs to be upped just that little bit. This is the reason why I've separated the model, but I've separated it into pieces to the point where I'm not going to go overboard. I think I might go overboard on maybe the what do they call it? The exhaust on top. I've still got to do the what do they call them? Man, I'm not having a good day with names today. Anyway, still got to do the chassis and all that for the wheels. That will come to me later, or I'll get probably harassed in World about it. Anyway, I try and calculate everything so that everything lays around that 50. 50 is now our new 32. Everyone used to try and stick to 32 or 30 prims. You hear people say prims. Some people say land impact. It's the exact same thing. So, display at distance and land impact. The further away I need to find a highlighter or a separate colour. A blue texture. God damn it, where were you earlier? Alright. We're gonna have to put up with. Is that a red pen? Red pen work? It'd be nice if I had something that worked. Let's. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Tons of these pens. Tons and tons and tons. It's as dry as a nun's nasty. Oh man. Okay. So we're talking distance, right? Level of display. So for the distance that we view, oh man, I knew I shouldn't have. Oh well. Let's go with this one. I think we can see the difference there, can't we? Yeah, we can see the difference. Whoop, that was a chair, I swear it was. I swear it wasn't me, it was a chair. Okay. So for the distance that we view it is plus Li. The further away that we see it, the greater the land impact. The smaller, or the less distance that we see, equals less land impact. Now, locomotives are pretty damn big. We have a locomotive here in Australia that is, oh geez, it'd probably be about 3 times the length of the one that we're building right now. It's an old steam train. The old Garretts, everyone knows the Garretts. They were a Pommy made kind of a train, locomotive. And they were massive. If I made that a really small level of display, you probably wouldn't see the other end of the build. It'd probably disappear into the background. However, I want my build to be seen at least at the start of the sim. I want to make sure that if somebody's on the other end of the sim, I want them to see my train coming from the other end. That's usually when you get the most amount of people looking at it. So let's say this is old matey here. He's at home, other end of the sim, and you're driving your train, and you're driving it towards him. He should see that level of impact. Sorry, not level of impact. Display distance, level of display from the other end. And you can shrink this in, expand it, shrink it in, shrink it out. But you've also got 3 levels: up close, medium, and far. So you can just drag this one in if you want. Drag it further out. Make the level of display greater as it comes out here. Make it less display, greater display out this way. Bring it back further in. Maybe you've got an apple on a counter and you've just created an apple. It's on a display on a tabletop. Well, people are only going to see that about here. So realistically, these rings, you could drag them in, bring them closer in, because people don't want to see your apple from the other side of their sim. Whereas a large object is definitely going to be needed, especially the amount of sound that I'm going to have coming out of this thing. It's going to it's going to shake Sims apart. So yeah, that's a basic understanding. As I was saying, we can shift these rings around to suit ourselves, but the further these rings go, the further out that we go, the greater the land impact. Now, I say the greater the land impact with the greater the rings. The land impact of the locomotive is going to be the same here in distance to here. The land impact doesn't change. It's just the display. If let's make 2 models. Let's make 2 models. I'll do one at a high display and one at a low display, and I'll show you the difference. It'll be a laugh. I've got plenty of money to burn in Second Life, so I may as well give that a crack. Let's get back to uploading this model. And I'm going to show you twice, obviously. Alright. I hope you liked my dodgy little my little drawing. Pretty shonky, but anyway. So that's your basic understanding. The further away we want to see it, the higher the land impact. That's just how it's going to be. And I chose to build in a place that's a large object thing. So the larger the object, the even greater the land impact. And I'll show you that as well. So let's go and upload. Build. Let's upload a model. Actually, right now, my sounds are down really far. Okay. Build. Upload model. Is that a DAE? Yep. Open. Okay. Obviously, this is going to be painful. Well, they've changed the setups on us too. Okay, I'm just going to quickly take away my face cam. Okay. That was a chair, I swear. Okay. We have got, as I was saying, level of display. And there we've got our triangles, our verts. It tells us how much. We can do a view of our model. There used to be a way of going up and down. I can't remember how that is. Not that it really matters because we've seen it a million times. Okay. So you can see here how we've got high, medium, low, lowest. Loading from the file is the highest, and I can load from the file on every single thing, but our what might be a, let's say, Tanland impact, it might get dragged out to maybe 200 land impact. There's a fair bit of difference there, and keep in mind that you can only link 256, I think it is, or maybe 250, I can't remember. Anyways, but you can see our big change. The big difference is triangles. 2190 from the file. That's not compressed. That's no level of display, no nothing. That's straight from the file. And then it drops to medium, low, high, and it dropped big time. I think that that's dropped way too far. I think that our triangles needs to be increased. I would probably try and make the triangles look as if they're about 1,000. There you go. And it actually takes you up to the next level. You can probably see the clicking of my mouse there. Yeah. And there you go. You're up to the next level now. Okay. I'm just going to quickly take that down to where it changes back. Yep. Go up. Then I'm going to go to my low. And we're going to go up. There you go. 270. I think that should be more along the line of 500. If I can get that up to 500, I'll be happy. There we go. Super duper. So what I'm trying to do is go half of 2,000 is about 1,000. Half of 1,000 is about 500. Half of, in the lowest, is 250. Push that up to around, there you go, close enough. So, I'm going to quickly name this 48 putty. Put a separator in there so I can understand it. Okay, now, that's the general rule that I use for locomotives on the railway. If I'm making something that's small, like let's say our horns that are going to be on the roof later on, I'm not going to want that to be displayed on the other end of the sim. I think that should be something like about a quarter of the sim that we should be first seeing at least the shape of the horn. Whereas this part of the body is our main thing, and this is going to be part that we're going to see from the other side of the sim. So we want to give that a little bit more detail, a little bit more land impact. So physics. There is no point in making a physical hull or anything like that if we're going to use, how do you say, if we're going to use a script that's going to make it phantom, there is no point at all in actually getting there and making this a physical object. If you make it a physical object, it will give you more land impact. I think I should be able to put my cam back up. Yeah, I should be able to do that. So there's no need to make it physical unless you're going to script it as being a physical object where when the thing stops you can walk around and do this and that. That's where you want to start choosing a physical shape. A lot of people don't choose a physical shape. They actually get there and use prims that are transparent. A lot of people just go that way because it's actually a less land impact. And if you use a massive long rectangular cube on your sides and one on the base, then when they're joined together, they should only be one land impact. Whereas if I make up a cube and a 3D model here to sit on top of this model, it's probably going to give me another 10, 15 land impact. So we don't want that. And then there's scaling as well. You don't want to scale your stuff like that. Dimensions. Now, upload options. Here's a big one. Scaling. At the moment, I'm at 100% scale in Blender. Now, that doesn't mean that I made the model in Blender 100% scale. It means that I've made the side and the front the same size. So in Blender, as a standard file, it's coming into Second Life as a standard file. It's telling me that this object is going to be roughly about half the size of what I wanted. You can see dimensions 1.580. That's going to be our x-axis, which is going to be side on, which would be the width of the cab. 7.782 is the y-axis. That's the length of the cab. 1.282, that's going to be height of the cab. I'm going to increase this to 2 because I know, there we go, we're roughly about scale there at 15.565. Calculate the weights. What have we got? Rigging. This is not a model that, how do we say, I'm going to use as an avatar. You could. There's nothing wrong with that. I've got no problems with people doing that. I'm sure nobody would have any problems with that. However, we have not rigged this to be a model. Nothing. So we're not worrying about that. Rigged it to be a, how do you say? Sorry, forgive me. An animated object or an avatar. That's not what we're going to be using this for. So let's go back to the beginning there. Okay, everything's fine. I like how that is. We're going to calculate the fees. Upload fees, $28. Land impact, 51. The shit. Yeah, that's not good. Okay. And I like the upload fee of 28, but on land impact of 51, that's it's a bit overkill. So clear the form and reset. calculate weights and fees. As a standard object, it is 15, land impact 10.6, downloadable from the server at 10.6, which actually means nothing when you're building. Clear. I want this, the furthest away, to be higher, just so it hits the next low, just up a little bit. Calculate the weights and fees now. I think I can deal with 20. I like it how it's telling me the physics. There's no physics in this. And that should, when I scale it, it should be around 25. Should be. Okay, I've named the model 48 body. I'm going to upload it. Ding ding. Ding 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 ding. What time we got? Ooh boy. We're at the end of time. Let's bring this in world. We've got to see it. Right? We can't just leave suspense here. We've got to bring it in. Drag it in under the ground. Looks pretty cool, eh? Looks pretty cool. Now, everything's there. Yep. I'm not gonna lie, that looks pretty cool. That looks pretty good. So, what's our first problem? You can see it. You can see it right there. And as I said, Blender, for some reason, X's and Y's, something's wrong. I don't know why, and nobody's ever been able to explain that to me. But that's where we are. That's what we've got. So, I'm going to grab this body, edit, drag it up. I'm going to rotate the body on the Z-axis 90. And it's facing the wrong direction. So what we're going to do is we're going to go 270. There we go. Looks pretty cool, eh? I like it as a miniature. Miniature always looks pretty cool. I'm going to drag it across. Now, remember that I've lined everything up off an image. I feel that I've got my overall lengths and everything correct. Face to face, I've got everything correct. The height, I'm kind of, I'm not really enjoying that height. Let's run with it. So, edit. And I want to grab this, and I'm just going to shift things around pretty easily. We can use a stretch both sides. I don't want to stretch both sides. Stretch texture, make sure you tick that, because when you drag that out, it'll actually move your texture away. Snap to world, I'm not interested in that, but it's ticked, so who cares. Let's start moving stuff around. Let's have a look. Give me a second. Give me a quick second. I'll watch some random shit. Snap to world, I'm not interested in that. Go back into here. My old mate was just having a chat. Okay, Let's quickly go back here because I don't want to have the... There we go. I don't want to upset the quality of the video, obviously. I want to make sure that you guys can see stuff pretty well. I'm just going to make sure that... Now, how... There you go, man. What I'm going to do right now is I want to center the cab body over the top of the rails so we're all even. At the moment you can see where my mouse is. Yes, that is the actual center of the rail. That's called the guide, and we use the guide in Second Life to script to or to bounce our objects off. That is center of the rails, the two rails on the side, and also center of the gravel. So what I'm going to do is find the location of the guide, which is 62,185. People are going to say, oh, but that's not the same as what's on my land. Well, that depends on the size of your land. It's not on the it's not on the sim. So we've now found the location of the guide, 62,185. Copy that. We're going to stick that into our new model. Go into object mode, location, paste that into there. So we got it centered. We can now come back here and we can stretch it. I'm going to bring this back just to line it up with the model that we've been making. And I also want to drag this up so that on Z top ways. Ooh, that's a little bit out, to tell the truth. But anyway. And we'll drag that down as well to be in alignment here. So, at this present stage, I guess we're going to have to look at pictures, aren't we, to figure out our width of the cab. And I know that the cab is going to run over the top of... Tell you what, we'll make it the same width as our 42. Because the last time I seen these two locomotives together, they actually looked flush in line. So that's going to be my plan. Go out of there, go into 42. I'll select the 42. Same one we had earlier. There we go. There we go. Now I want, you can see the width of it. She's a bit narrow. That's not how it looks. Let's grab our train here. Let's just quickly bring her up the front. And we'll grab this one and scale. Stretch. I want to go both sides this time. On the x-axis, yeah. You got to keep remembering that X is opposite Blender to Second Life. So X, come out. And I reckon that looks pretty cool right there. That looks pretty cool. Okay, let's move our old locomotive away. And that does actually look pretty close to, oh, if anything, it should be, actually looks a little bit out now when I have a look at that. Oi, 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 oi. Everything's lined up pretty well, but... Well, the episode is almost over, but let's go out on a big bang. Let's go into Gimp. There's our image. Now, do you remember last episode we were talking about transparencies and how that affects the front to rear of a transparent object, how you can see through the first one into the next one. Well, we're going to have that problem with this. So, File. We're going to export this as CAD body texture PNG. We've already got it as a PNG. We don't have to export it. Okay. Go into here. Go out of build mode. Build. Upload an image this time around. We're going to go into our UV map. Select that one. Keep in mind that image uploads are always 10. Always 10. Sound files, always 10. Music files, or sound files, always 10. It's only the model that changes, and you've seen that cost, I think it was 27 or I don't know, I wasn't keeping count, no idea. I'm going to upload that image. You paid $10 Linden. Woohoo! And there's two ways we can get this image onto the model. We can drag it onto the model, or we can actually get there and go into the model and tell it what image. I'm just going to drag it for now because, oh, have a look at that. Looks pretty trick, eh? That looks pretty good. She's a bit dark in colour at the moment. That is because you see the locomotive behind it. That's got the shine map on it. This one here, it does not have a shine map. I could probably get in there and go edit, textures, alpha blending. Let's go no alpha blending. That'll clean that up. We can also go into bumpiness, shininess. Shininess, I don't like shininess. Specular. Alright. There we go, we'll just add that for now. That'll give it a little bit of glossiness, I guess. The glossiness isn't as high as this over here, but you know. But that's where we're up to. Jeez, I tell you what, the colour difference. Jeez. The old colour difference. That's where we're at the moment. It's looking pretty good. I still have to texture the inside of the cab. I've still got to texture all over and try and blend it up so that actually, where's my lights? Give me my lights. Where's my lights? I don't like how far away they are. I've got them all selected and shift the other lights and edit them and drag them down. I want to see the model. There we go. That's a bit better. Man, that looks pretty good, but maybe the shine has to go up, glossiness. Here we go. Anyway, doesn't matter. That's where we're up to at the moment. You can see how we've got this image problem here where the roof is not the same texture as the body. I'm going to go through, and I'm definitely going to start manipulating the image so that it looks more like that. I want it to look a lot more like that than what it is now. I'm going to brighten it up a lot as well. And then I think everything's going to look pretty cool. Next time around, we are going to... What am I going to do? Well, I've got to keep doing the textures. I'm going to start looking at the chassis. We're going to look into the chassis, and I think everything's going to be pretty cool with that. Now, I'm going to do everything, every part by part, because, as I was saying, it's probably the easiest way to learn. You make that little bit, you add it, you go through, do the whole process, start again, get into the next part, process, do it all again. That's where we're up to. The texture on it, you know, then again, I could probably go edit on this one. Edit linked. I'll always edit link if you're gonna, how do you say, shininess, glossiness. Oh, I see what I've done there. Okay. I see what I've done there. That's because I've actually created a proper image for it to make it glossy. That's the reason why it's like that. So, that's where we're up to. Now, I've got to make sure I go through and edit a whole heap of the images, go through all that. Now that I look at that, I really don't like that. I really don't like that. Edit links. Why? It makes it worse. That looks better. It's probably exactly the same, isn't it? Yeah, who cares? Who cares? Anyways, that's where we're up to. I've still got a lot of image manipulation to do. And keep in mind, the times have changed in Second Life. So, it is no longer now 2300, it's now 2200. So I'm going to have to go and change that again. Anyway, doesn't matter. I had no idea daylight savings in Australia would be done the different time to daylight savings in America or San Francisco, where Second Life is. So yeah, that's where we're at. I'm pretty happy with where we're at. Oh, that looks better. Here we go. No, back the other way. Come on. I kind of almost matched up then. I was almost very, 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 very happy. Yeah, it looks better. Looks a lot better. A lot better. So, next time around, I'm going to start looking at the chassis, and fingers crossed I can get some time to actually get in there and do some proper texturing. I want it to make it look a little bit more uniform with the locomotive that's behind it. And I think everything will be aces and everything will be really nice. But anyway, for now, thank you very much for watching. And once a week, I do this all the way through. And today we've done a lot of progress. Obviously, that image is not going to stay the same. That's going to be changed. But I reckon if we keep going like this, at this rate, the way that we're going, I reckon we could probably have this thing working before Christmas. Easy. I reckon we'll be cruising around the Second Life Railway in this no time. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you've found this interesting, feel free to like and help the channel out. Subscribe and share it with your friends if they think that this might help them out. Obviously, I don't know everything about mesh modeling in Second Life. However, I know enough to help people get started, and obviously people's curiosity pushes them out to learn more and more and more. The more we share, the more we learn. That's where we're at the moment. And I'll see you next Monday. Thanks for watching, and catch you later.